Welcome everyone to another episode of Book Date with You, the platform where we recommend the best book to you. Today is episode 93, and we are going to talk about this book, Believe It, from Jamie Kern Lima. And allow me to just give a very short introduction of Jamie. She is an American entrepreneur, investor, and media personality, and she recognized as the co-founder of IT Cosmetics, and she's the first female CEO of a L'Oreal brand in the company history. So in 2016, Kern Lima sold her IT cosmetic to L'Oreal for 1.2 billion and has been included on the Forbes list as the American richest self-made women since 2017. So very impressive resume, and let's hear what Joyce have to talk about this book.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. So much grateful that I actually bought this book myself. The reason when I started buying this book, because she actually published this book, I think 1 to 2 years ago, but I only bought it earlier, mid of this year, because I know that I need that so much to really learn how to believe in myself again. So that's the reason why I found that this book is such a great book that I want to introduce to you in two parts. Today, we will focus mainly solely on the chapter talking about belief. So there's one question that Jamie want to ask you that you can answer it by yourself. Has anyone ever said something so hurtful to you that you had to do everything in your power not to replay it over and over in your head? You can answer by yourself. Yes, you don't need to tell me right now, because it is so challenging that a lot of us, we have this challenge that we always, people say something to us, we replay it again and again in our mind. And being vulnerable, it's hard. This is what Jamie said, because I'm trying to use a lot of original sentences from this book, because I found that the sentence is so profoundly impactful that I want to bring it to you. That she said, being vulnerable is hard, but she learned that sharing our true, flawed, authentic selves is the only way for the real connection and love can happen. So it is the only to step into our full power and purpose in our lives. So this is the book, chapter 1, talk about when your intuition talks to you, believe it. Means that when your guts talk to you. That is one sentence that Jamie write in the book is, how I didn't know what I didn't know. And the more I learn how much I didn't know. Yes, there are so many things that we don't know. That is such a great phrase that to remind myself that, yes, there are so many things that I still don't know, that I'm still very open to learn about it. So she actually has a mission. Yeah, her mission was to empower all the women to believe that they were worthy and beautiful, and to shift the culture around the inclusivity in the beauty industry, which in turn would shift the culture everywhere. Remember just now when Gideon introduced to you that she was the co-founder she was the founder of IT Cosmetics. Yes, so this is in the beauty industry. So she wants to shift the culture that people have in the beauty industry, that showcase a lot of beautiful faces, without any flaw. That she actually, during her show, there's definitely a lot of chapters in the book that she would actually mention about. She actually have a showtime in QVC, like TV show, that she actually show her raw face without any makeup, the raw one. So that's having some flaws that she don't mind to share with other people. That is something very, I would say, before her, nobody dared to do it. So she's literally shifted the culture in the beauty industry. So this is something she mentioned, This is the why was something she believed in her soul, and focusing on it was in many days literally the only thing that gave her the courage to get out from the bed when she truly felt like giving up. Yes, it's never been easy when you have a lot of stumbling challenges along the journey. So she is the why that really keeps her getting back up and wake up every single day to do what she do. So is your why is the powerful enough to withstand the hard times when things don't go your way. So she has so many rejections. No, 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 no along the journey. It's like thousands of times that she actually mentioned about it again and again in the book, all the rejections that she experienced. And she told herself that I was not going to quit. I just was not going to give up. It did not make sense in my head, but it did make sense in my gut. My intuition was still telling me to keep going. It's her gut feeling means that her intuition is telling her that, yes, please keep going. So this is what she said in the book. We have to be still and listen to that clear voice inside us that telling us what to do, and then have the confidence and courage to do it. These are the moments that define us. This is something very, very, I love when I read this. Sometimes you just need to be still, quiet, and listen closely. And while we are talking about this, I would love to ask Gideon, do you actually listen to your gut, like your intuition, that what your intuition is trying to tell you most of the time?
Yeah, I will agree that the intuition is inside you is always want to talk to you. And whether you want to listen and follow it is another thing, because we humans have a brain on the top, right? And the brain, the logic brain is always telling you, maybe most of the time telling you the other way. So me as a logic person, I will always, I mean, sometimes when I'm a logic person, I will list down the pro and cons and think back before we do it. But I know sometimes there's no such thing as when the pro is more than the con, then you have to just follow the pro way, right? But I think some of the time you have to just jump into it. But yeah, there's a risk, of course.
Yes, this is what Jamie tell in the book as well. It is sometimes the gut feeling or the intuition does not mean they're 100% correct. You get what I mean? It is a guidance for us, but sometimes it's not always. But anyway, what she tell us is about any if the gut feeling is actually hitting to the wrong way, but it's a gift along the life's journey that you can always don't waste it. Use it as a valuable lesson. So you actually can turn it into refine a little bit on your instinct and also your intuition further. And there's one key point before I jump to the second chapter I want to highlight is she mentioned about this. The key is being aware of the things that prevent us from listening to our intuition is our past mistakes, self-doubt, and other people's opinions. Yes, a lot of time these three things really hinder ourselves from listening to our intuition. So be careful on that. So then I want to talk about another chapter. It's about believe in the power of embracing your truth. In this book, Jamie shared a little bit about her mother. Not a little bit, quite a big chapter. She's talking about her mom. When she was in her 20s, she only found out that her mom is not her biological mom. That is something shocking truth for her. And she actually used a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of network time to connection to really find her biological mom. And finally, she get her. She actually found her biological mom. And this is something she tell us is believe in the power of embracing your truth. Sometimes things that you think that may not happen to you, the impossible, yes, it may happen. And this is the truth that you need to accept it. So that's what she said. Believe in the power of embracing your truth is, she said, I learned that where you come from matters less than what you are made of. Pay attention to your struggles as they can become your superpower. So many things that she experienced along her journey, whether it's finding her biological mom or in her business, or later I will share with you about having her kids. There is so much struggle along the journey that become her superpower today, that she can actually share with us all her own experience about that. So believe in the power of embracing your story, including the messy parts that ultimately can make it even more beautiful, and believe in loving others on their own journey to do the same. So this is such, I know sometimes I may read out for you, but I just don't feel like want to change the sentence, because I feel like the sentence is so impactful. So another chapter is talking about believe you are stronger than your opposition. Especially she's set up IT cosmetics. During the time she have a lot of show in QVC. And then the time that a lot of mean girls that, the girls that gang it together, talk bad about her and demeaning her a lot of things. And then she felt so hurtful about that. This is what she learned from her experience is believe you are stronger than your opposition. One person's success does not take away from another. Self-imposed gender suppression continues to persist as if women continue to believe there are only limited possibilities and see each other as a direct competition. As a woman, I know that because a lot of time I found that I face out with women and women, we tend not to grow up and grow together. We tend to compete among each other. I don't know about Gideon. In male world, do you see that competition is a common thing for you, right? Or cooperation is more, competition is more. Yeah. For women, we tend to have this direct competition, like comparison. That's very common among us. So this is what she is trying to tell us is we get competition by upping up our own games, not tearing down someone else. This group of ladies that she made up last time is the one that trying to tear her down. But she actually learned out how to grow herself, how to be strong, not letting them to tear her down. If it is not, you won't see her success by today. So this one, she also highlight about it hurts so much when people treat us like we don't belong. Yes, sometimes we all human, we crave for connection, we crave for belonging. So when we feel like we don't belong, yes, it is sometimes very, very hurtful. So this is a part that she mentioned about never let other people dim your light. So when that is one I want to share, this one, I love it so much. So cute. Can you all see here that there's a squirrel with a big ball? It is a squirrel with a big ball that she said, it's like be the squirrel when you need to swing them. It is a picture photo that remind her to be strong when everything comes to her way. This is such a great photo, and you will never know this is the photo that she actually gives to Oprah. I'm like, what? She gave this to Oprah. And then she framed it into the frame and present to Oprah. This is something that remind her again and again who she was, who she is. And definitely she wants to really be brave and courage and confidence enough to do what she wants to do. So she mentioned about this. One day, the people who never believe in you will talk about how they met you. They might call you rejected, then one day they call you boss. The reason why she say that is because there is one person, one guy that rejected her last time. in her application to some of the show. And then this guy become her employee after she becomes so successful.
Wow.
So this is something very impressive to know about that. So the next chapter, we talk about believe in the power of your microphone. Let's say you have a microphone. All right. So what control is not necessarily the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog. Sometimes you see the dog that go to fight is so small that the bark of the dog is so loud. It's the fight, not the size of the dog that matters, right? So Jamie, she actually highlight in this chapter a lot about 7 good friends that they are together, 7 of them, like in a circle of friends. That is so powerful for her to really able to connect the support system that she has across the 7 of them. She said, all of us cry together, dream of changing culture together, champion women and amazing causes together. And all of us are victors, not victims. So she mentioned about this is, I feel like so powerful to talk to you is, when you reclaim your power and show up in your lives as authentic self, you literally gain your whole life back. The microphone. We all have a microphone that we control in our lives. So we get to choose the people we hand the microphone to. Yes. And we decide who to speak into it and at what volume. We decide. We're not letting other people to have this kind of power. We have to reclaim this power. So this chapter is talking about how to reclaim back the power, how to decide who to let to speak into our lives, who we hand our microphone in. It really changed everything in your life. So this is such a part I really love it so much. You know, the narrative talking about using a microphone, you know, like speaking in a microphone, all this. So the last chapter I want to share with you today is believe life is not meant to do alone. She has this story that she talked about how she can have kids. She is so dreaming to have kids, but her body doesn't allow her to have to conceive a baby, and that's the part that she actually searched for surrogate mother. She struggled a lot to think whether she can accept as a, to have surrogate mothers. But after that, she decided she want to go for one, and a lot of journey, a lot of stories that, struggles that she went through, challenges that she went through. And she mentioned about believing the power of asking for what you need, whether it's from someone else or from yourself, in order to heal. And I crazily love one sentence. It's talking about either pray or worry, but don't do both. But I found myself that I'm not able to do that yet. When I worry about something, I go and pray. So when I pray, but I still worry. I say, what? This is a very good advice to every one of us. When you have anything that you worry so much, we highly encourage you, any spiritual religion you are in, go to pray. Yes, go to pray. So when you pray, don't worry so much. So I'm still in the practice of how not to worry after I pray. Okay, so either or, don't do both. That's what she actually advised in this book. So that's in the part 1 that I want to share with you in this book. So stay tuned. In the next 2 weeks, we will talk about the part 2. We are talking more on the business, the risk, when we talk about that. Okay, so let me and Gideon know in the comment section below any aha moment, any things that you grabbed by today, what I share with you, and let us know. And see you in the next episode.